Every second of a World Eater's life is agony. Crude implants sunk into their skulls turn thought into constant torment and calm into pain. They don't fight for glory or purpose anymore. They fight because violence is the only thing that quiets the noise. And the blood god always demands more. I wake to the nails again. Always the nails. Always the digging. Like rusted fingers at the edge of my mind. My eyes open to darkness and a metallic tang fills my mouth. I have bitten my tongue in my sleep again. The pain is familiar. Pain is all I have known since the implants were driven in. Since I became one of Angren's sons. The name brings another flare of ache as the nails register deeper. Even thinking of our Primarch sets them singing. I am Carcon of the World Eaters. Once I had another name. Once I wore white and blue plate and fought for an emperor who promised unity. Now I wear the red and brass of the blood god, and I fight because the nails demand it. My armor carries the marks of 10,000 fights. Each dent and scar is proof I survived. Each kill mark is another tally for the shrine. I no longer count them. There are too many. There are too few of the man I once was. The skull forge groans as I rise from my slab. Not a bed. I do not sleep like the living. I lie motionless until the nails force me to move. The chamber is spare. Metal walls stained with the long residue of battle. A rack holds armor and weapons. In the corner, a small shrine, tokens and trophies, some human, some xenos, all offerings to the blood god. I say no prayers. Khorne cares not for words, only for deeds. My brothers are already up. I can hear chain axes grinding and low voices from the pits. The sound makes the nails dig deeper. They want me there. They want me to spill. Even the blood of our own can be used to sharpen purpose. We train on one another when there are no true enemies. If wounds are not mortal, we tend them. If they are, we add the token to the shrine. I reach for my armor. Donning it is ritual. Greaves stained with the mud of many worlds. Bracers scored by blades and claws and things without names. A chestplate bearing the fanged emblem of my warband, the Gore Feasters. We follow Kagaroth the Bloodspiller. Follow is the wrong word. We obey because he is strongest. When he falls, another will take command. I want no part of such glory. I want only the brief silence that comes from giving the nails their due. The helm goes last. As I lift it, I catch my reflection in a polished bulkhead. My face is a map of scars and metal. The implants jut from my scalp like insect legs. My eyes are red-rimmed orbs set in pale skin. My mouth is a permanent snarl. My teeth filed sharp. I scarcely know the man in the mirror. Perhaps I never did. The helm slides over my head with the familiar hiss. Armor systems power up, neural links engaging. Pain flares as the implants register the connection. The pain means the suit is working. The pain means I am prepared. I take my weapons from the rack, a chain axe in my right, a bolt pistol in my left. Both are old and trusted. The chain axe carries a name, Bloodrinker. I did not name it. It belonged to a brother I bested in the pits when the nails drove me too far. Taking his weapon was my right as victor. I do not recall his name now, only another token for the shrine. I leave the chamber and move through the skull forge. The ship is older than I am. It has served the Legion since before the heresy. Hallways narrow and twist like veins in a tired body. The walls pulse with an uneasy rhythm, not a heart, but ancient machinery under strain. Servitors shuffle past, faces blank where flesh meets metal. They do not look at me. They know better. The skull forge is more than a vessel. It is a fortress monastery, a factory of war. Deep in the bowels, slaves and servitors labor to make munitions and keep engines running. Above them lie the pits and arming chambers, and higher still the bridge and Kagaroth's private domain. I have not been to the bridge in decades. I have no need. My place is in battle, not in councils. Planning. I reach the fighting pits and the nails sing louder at the sounds that greet me. Metal on metal, chain axes revving, impacts ringing out, bodies straining, voices raised in fury. The heavy smell of sweat and iron hangs in the air. My brothers are already at work. Some spar with training cages, blunted weapons that still bruise but rarely kill. Others fight with live steel against captured slaves or prisoners. These fights always end decisively. We need the practice. We need to feed the nails. Kareth stands at the edge of the central pit. His armor is more ornate than mine, adorned with trophies and brass icons of Khorne. His helmet is fashioned in the likeness of a snarling hound, the 8-pointed star of chaos etched into its forehead. 2 chain axes hang from his belt, both larger than mine, both marked from recent use. He sees me and raises a hand in greeting. Not friendly, we do not have friends, but acknowledging a useful tool. I nod in return and approach. Karkon, he growls, voice distorted by his helm's vox. The nails wake you early. They never let me sleep, I reply. A simple truth. None of us truly sleep anymore. Good, he says. We have received a summons. The Blood Crusade pushes into the Sheridan sector. Kagaroth calls his servants to war. The nails dig deeper at the mention of war. Real war. Not the pale imitation of the training pits. They know the difference. They can sense it. How long? I ask. 3 days in the warp, if the navigator does not fail us. 3 days. 3 days of nothing but training and waiting. The nails will be relentless by then, demanding release. I will have to visit the slave pens to quiet them. We all will. Gather your squad, Kareth continues. We make preparation for translation into the warp within the hour. The blood god grows impatient for skulls. Nod again and turn away. My squad, once we were a proper unit, 10 brothers bound by discipline and purpose. Now we are 5 survivors bound by nothing but the nails and our service to Khorne. Vareth, Grulag, Toromike, June. Each as broken as I am, each as deadly. I find them scattered around the pits. Vareth and Grulag sparring with each other, chain axes locked together in a shower of sparks. Toromike methodically executing prisoners one after another, his movements precise despite the nails. June sitting alone in a corner, mumbling to himself, scratching at the implants in his skull until red streaks run down his neck. The nails affect us all differently. For some, like June, they have all but eroded what sanity remained. I signal to them and they respond immediately. Even June stops scratching. The training and the executions stop. They gather around me, red staining their weapons and dripping onto the deck. War. I say simply. The word is enough. I see the change in their posture, the anticipation. The nails dig into all of us at the prospect. Where? Asks Vareth. His voice is a metallic rasp, his vocal cords damaged in a battle against the salamanders centuries ago. Sheridan Sector Blood Crusade. 3 days transit. 3 days, Grulag snarls. The nails will be unbearable. Then we visit the pens, says Toromike. Always practical. June says nothing. Just nods rapidly, still scratching at his implants. Prepare your war gear, I tell them. We translate within the hour. They disperse without another word, each to their own rituals of preparation. I remain in the pit for a moment longer, watching the other squads receive the same news from their leaders. The energy in the chamber changes, becomes charged with purpose. With anticipation. The nails respond to it, digging deeper, demanding action. I leave the pits and make my way to the arming chamber assigned to my squad. It is a large room filled with weapon racks and maintenance stations. Servitors move through it, performing checks and passing tools. Silently about their tasks, repairing armor and sharpening blades. They do not look up as I enter. They are tools, nothing more. My brothers arrive one by one. Each begins the process of preparing for war. Armor is checked for damage and repaired. Weapons are cleaned and blessed. Ammunition is counted and distributed. We work in near silence, communicating in grunts and gestures when necessary. Words are difficult with the nails. They punish complicated thought. They reward only rage and action. I strip my chain axe down to its components, clearing the dried stains from its teeth. I oil the chain and check the motor. I load fresh shells into my bolt pistol and secure additional magazines to my belt. I check my combat knife and the spare blades, hidden throughout my armor. In battle, a warrior must be prepared to lose his primary weapons. To be unarmed is to be dead. As I work, fragments of memory surface through the constant pain of the nails. Flashes of a time before. A face. A woman. Her name escapes me, though I know once it was precious to me. Planet with golden fields beneath a pale blue sky. Was it my home? I cannot remember. The nails punish such memories, driving deeper when they surface. I have learned to let them slip away rather than try to hold them. Other memories are clearer. The first time the nails were activated. The shouting, the chaos, the rage that consumed everything else. The faces of brothers I struck down in that initial frenzy. The metallic taste of battle on my lips. These memories, the nails permit. These memories they reward. With momentary respite from the pain, I finish my preparations before the others. I always do. Efficiency is one of the few disciplines the nails have not taken from me. I sit on a storage crate and watch my brothers work. Vareth meticulously checking each link in his chain glaive. Grulag loading shells into his combi bolter, lips moving in silent prayer to Khorne. Toramike sharpening his axe with mechanical precision. And June, poor broken June, rocking back and forth as he cleans his weapons, talking to himself in a language none of us understand. Once we were prouder than this. Once we were the Emperor's finest, his angels of death. Now we are raid dogs held on a leash of pain, released only to fight and destroy in the name of a god who cares nothing for us beyond the trophies we gather. The thought should bring shame, but shame is another emotion the nails have stolen from me. The ship shudders around us. A low rumble builds in the decks and walls. The warp engines are powering up. Soon we will leave real space and enter the Imperium, the domain of the gods, the realm of madness. For most, travel through the warp is a time of danger and fear. For us, it is simply another kind of pain to endure. We secure our equipment as the tremors increase. Warning klaxons sound throughout the ship. A servitor approaches and bows stiffly. Lords, the ship translates in 5 minutes. The Bloodmaster requests all warriors secure for warp travel. I nod dismissal, and the servitor scurries away. We do not need to be told how to prepare for warp travel. We have done it countless times. We secure our weapons and armor. We strap ourselves into the reinforced seats built into the walls of the arming chamber. We do not retreat to quarters or special chambers as the mortal crew do. The warp holds no terror for us. We have seen worse. The rumbling builds to a crescendo. The deck plates vibrate beneath our feet. The lighting flickers and dims. Then comes the sensation of being turned inside out, of having every atom in your body pulled apart and reassembled incorrectly. For a normal human, the experience would drive them insane. For us, it is barely noticeable through the constant agony of the nails. The skull forge enters the warp with a final shudder that ripples through the entire vessel. The lighting shifts from harsh white to a deep crimson as the ship switches to warp-running protocols. The gravity fluctuates momentarily before stabilizing at a level slightly higher than normal. The constant background noise of the engines changes pitch, becoming a low, throbbing pulse that reminds me of a gigantic heart. We remain strapped in for several more minutes until the announcement comes that we have successfully translated into the warp and all systems are functioning normally. Then we release ourselves and return to our preparations. 3 days, Grulag growls as he checks the edge on his chain axe for the 3rd time. 3 days with the nails and nothing to fight. There are always the slave pens, Toramike reminds him. Slaves are not warriors, Grulag. It exactly the same way. Spits. There is no honor in such kills. Honor. Vareth laughs. A harsh sound like metal scraping on metal. What use have we for honor? We are the eaters of worlds. The butchers of the false emperor's realm. We take skulls for corn. That is all. Even the blood god recognizes worthy kills, Grulag insists. A strong enemy yields a better skull than a weak one. I say nothing. This is an old argument among my brothers. One that surfaces whenever we face the prospect of days without proper combat. Grulag still clings to some twisted version of the honor we once held as Astartes. Vareth has abandoned such notions entirely. Toramike walks the middle path, pragmatic in all things. And June, well, June is too far gone to care either way. Vareth turns to me. What say you? Shall we visit the pens to quiet the nails or endure until we reach the Sheridan sector? All eyes turn to me as squad leader. My word is law. At least until the nails drive one of them to challenge me. It has happened before. It will happen again. Such is our way. We will train, I say after a moment, hard, until our bodies can no longer move. Then we will rest and train again. The slave pens are a last resort. We will need our strength for the real battles to come. Grulag nods in satisfaction. Vareth shrugs, indifferent. Toramike simply accepts as he accepts all things. June continues to rock back and forth, lost in his private madness. But I add, if the nails become too much for any of you to bear, you may visit the pens, 1 slave each, no more. We cannot afford to deplete the ship's resources before battle. This compromise seems to satisfy them. Even Vareth nods reluctantly. They know as well as I do that training alone will not silence the nails completely. Not for 3 days, but it may make the pain manageable. We finish our preparations in silence and head back to the training pits. They will be crowded now with every warrior on the ship seeking to occupy themselves during the warp journey. But there will be room enough for us. There is always room for Karkon's squad. We have earned our reputation. We have spilled enough blood in the fighting pits that others give us space. The next 3 days pass in a blur of violence. We train until our muscles scream for mercy. Until our bodies are marked by wounds that even our enhanced healing struggles to close. Until sweat and exertion make the deck slick beneath our feet. We spar with each other and with other squads. Always with blunted weapons. Always pulling our strikes just short of lethal force. But still, warriors fall. It is unavoidable when the nails drive us beyond reason. I lose count of the hours. Time has little meaning in the warp anyway. The ship's chronometers try to maintain a standard schedule, but everyone knows it is a fiction, a convenience for the mortal crew who still need such things to keep some semblance of sanity. For us, there is only the rhythm of combat, rest, and more combat. On what the ship's log calls the 2nd day, June succumbs to the nails. During a sparring match with a warrior from another squad, he suddenly screams and drops his training cage. Before anyone can react, he draws his combat knife and lunges at his opponent, driving the blade up under the chin strap of the other warrior's helmet. The blade finds its mark in a soft spot, and a flash of red arcs across the training pit. The other warrior falls, choking and dazed. He will not die, not permanently. The apothecaries will tend him if they deem him worthy. But the breach of the pit's rules is clear. June has broken the code. Punishment is swift and severe. Kareth himself steps into the pit and faces June. No words are exchanged. None are needed. Kareth draws one of his chain axes and activates it with a roar that echoes through the chamber. June, still lost to the nails, charges with nothing but his knife. The fight is brief and brutal. Zune manages to score a single wound, a shallow cut across Kagorotha's forearm. Then the chain axe strikes with overwhelming force, catching him squarely in the chest and driving him back. June falls to the deck, motionless. Knees, red spilling from the massive wound. Kagoroth raises his axe for the killing blow. I step forward. Lord, I call out. He is my responsibility. My warrior. Kareth pauses, the axe held high. He turns his helmeted head toward me, considering. You claim the right of correction? He asks, his voice a rumble of barely contained fury. I do, I confirm. By our savage traditions, a squad leader may execute his own warrior. If that warrior breaks the laws of the warband, it is both a right and a duty. Kagoroth steps back, lowering his axe. Then correct him, Karen. I draw my bolt, pistol and approach June. He kneels in a pool of his own blood, the nails finally quieted by the shock of his wound. His helmet has been knocked off in the fight, and I can see his face, his eyes, clear for the first time in days. He recognizes me. He knows what comes next. Brother, he whispers, breath shaking. Make it clean. I place the muzzle of the pistol against his forehead. Blood for the blood god, I intone. Skulls for the skull throne, he replies, completing the ritual. I pull the trigger. June's head snaps back from the impact, and he falls onto the deck, motionless. The servitors will collect his gene seed if it is still viable. Another will take his skull for the trophy rack. His armor and weapons will be distributed among the squad. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is mourned. I holster my pistol and turn to Kagoroth. It is done. He nods once, then addresses the gathered warriors. Back to training. We reach Sheridan tomorrow. Be ready. The warriors disperse, the spectacle over. I return to my remaining squad members. None of them speak of June. It is as if he never existed. This is our way. The weak are culled. Only the strong survive to serve Khorne. We are four now, Vareth observes neutrally. We will be assigned a replacement when we return to the Eye. I reply. If we return, Vareth adds. We will return, Grulag says with certainty. Khorne is not done with us yet. I say nothing to this. None of us know the will of the blood god. We know only that he demands skulls and battle, and we provide them until we can provide no more than our own. Skulls join his throne, and our blood waters his realm. It is a simple existence, brutal but simple. We resume our training, pushing even harder now, as if by driving our bodies beyond their limits, we can somehow make up for being one warrior short. As if Khorne might notice our dedication and favor us in the coming battle. It is a foolish thought, but one the nails allow. They care only that we continue to move, to fight, to shed blood. Whether it is ours or the enemy's makes little difference to them. The third day passes much like the second. Train, rest, train again. The nails scream constantly now, demanding real violence, demanding battle that matters. I see the strain in my brothers' faces when they remove their helmets, the bloodshot eyes, the constant tick of facial muscles, the grinding of teeth worn flat from clenching. We are all barely holding on to the last threads of control. None of us visit the slave pens, not even Vareth, who argued for it initially. We have made a pact, unspoken but understood. We will save our fury for the enemy. We will give the nails what they want soon enough. Finally, the announcement comes, 1 hour to translation back to real space. 1 hour until the Sheridan sector. 1 hour until war. We return to the arming chamber and don our full battle plate. We check our weapons one final time. We secure additional ammunition. We prepare. The ship shudders as it prepares to leave the warp. The deck trembles beneath our feet. The lighting flickers from blood red back to harsh white. Then comes the sensation of being compressed, of every atom in your body being forced back into proper alignment. Again, it is barely noticeable through the constant pain of the nails. With a final violent shudder, the skull forge returns to real space. The warp engines power down with a whine that fades to silence. For a moment, there is an eerie quiet throughout the ship. Then the klaxons sound, not the warning of translation this time, but the call to battle stations. The call to war. We make our way to the launch bay where our drop pod waits. Other squads converge from all directions, a river of red armor flowing through the corridors of the ship. There is no chatter, no battle cry or ritual exchanges, just the heavy tread of ceramite boots on metal decking and the occasional revving of a chain axe as a warrior succumbs momentarily to the nails. The launch bay is vast, a cavernous space filled with drop pods, thunderhawks, and other assault craft. Servitors and tech thralls scurry about making final preparations. Overhead, a massive view screen shows our target, a Hive City sprawling across the surface of a gray-brown world. Imperial banners still fly from its highest towers. But not for long. Kagaroth stands on a raised platform, addressing the gathered warriors. His voice booms through external voxcasters, filling the launch bay. Brothers, the blood god calls us to war. The Sheridan sector bleeds, and he thirsts for more. We will give him what he wants. We will drown this hive in battle, and build a mountain of trophies in his name. A roar goes up from the assembled warriors. Chain axes rev and bolt pistols fire into the air. The nails respond to the display, digging deeper, demanding action. I feel my own control slipping as the battle rage builds within me. The Corpse Emperor's lapdogs defend this world, Kagaroth continues. Space Marines of the White Scars chapter. They are fast. They are skilled. They are worthy opponents. Their victories make their trophies all the more valuable. Another roar, louder this time. White Scars. I search my fractured memories for information about this chapter. Fast attack specialists. Highly mobile. Masters of hit-and-run warfare. Not the kind of enemy the World Eaters typically fare well against. But it does not matter. The nails care nothing for tactics or strategy. They care only for close combat, for the feeling of the strike landing true. We drop in 5 minutes. Kagaroth shouts. To your assault craft. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. The response is deafening, echoing from the metal walls of the launch bay. We move to our assigned drop pod, a brutal, utilitarian craft designed for one purpose, to deliver us to the battlefield as quickly as possible. No comfort. No safety features beyond the bare minimum. Just a metal coffin fired from orbit directly into the heart of the enemy. We strap ourselves in, securing our weapons. The interior of the pod is cramped even for normal Astartes. For us, with our bulkier armor and larger weapons, it is claustrophobic. We sit with knees touching, surrounded by ammunition and additional gear. The only illumination comes from red lumens in the ceiling, casting everything in a bloody glow. The pod's door closes with a hiss of pneumatics and a solid clang of metal on metal. Darkness envelopes us, broken only by the red emergency lighting and the glow of our helmet displays. The countdown appears on our retinal feeds. 5 minutes, then 4, then 3. The nails dig deeper with each passing second. The anticipation of battle is almost worse than the battle itself. Almost. I grip the harness that holds me in place, ceramite gauntlets creaking with the pressure. Across from me, Grulag is mumbling prayers to Khorne, his voice a low growl barely audible over the sound of the pod systems powering up. 2 minutes. I access the external feed from the Skull Forge's auger array. The Hive City fills my vision. Massive walls, defense lasers, void shields. A formidable target. But I can also see the first wave of our assault. Drop pods and thunderhawks already descending through the atmosphere, trailing fire like vengeful meteors. Defense lasers reach up to meet them, striking some from the sky in explosions of light and debris. But many more push through. The first wave will secure a landing zone. We are the second wave, the hammer blow that will crack the hive open like an egg. 1 minute. The pod shudders as the launch mechanisms engage. Clamps release. And grav plates activate, holding us in place while the pod is moved into position over the launch tube. The shaking increases as the pod locks into the firing mechanism. 30 seconds. The external feed shows more of our forces deploying. A massive Chaos Titan stomps. External feed shows more of our forces deploying. A massive Chaos Titan stomps across the landscape toward the hive, each step flattening structures and vehicles beneath its enormous weight. Swarms of demonic entities materialize out of thin air, summoned by our sorcerers to aid in the assault. The sky darkens with the wings of Heldrakes and other infernal craft. 10 seconds. The nails are screaming now, demanding release, demanding action. My vision tightens to a narrow red tunnel. My breathing becomes uneven. My hearts pound like twin war drums. I am no longer Karkun. I am no longer anything but a vessel for the butcher's nails. A tool of Khorne, driven forward only by the need to fight. Launch. The pod fires from the tube like a projectile from a cannon. G-forces pin me against my seat despite my enhanced physiology and the pod's compensators. The sensation lasts only moments before artificial gravity steadies and the true descent begins. We hurtle through the void toward the planet below. The pod's heat shield engages as we hit the upper atmosphere, the internal temperature rising sharply. Our armor compensates. Cooling systems working at full capacity. Outside, the air ignites around us, turning the metal shell of our transport into a blazing streak hurtling toward the surface. The ride is violent. The pod shakes under atmospheric turbulence striking from all sides. Warning runes flare across my retinal display. Heat levels rising. Structural strain increasing in multiple sections. Course deviation due to defensive fire. None of it matters. Either we reach the ground intact or we do not. There is no middle ground. I check the tactical display. Our target landing zone is a wide plaza near the hive's center, a strategic point. We will be surrounded by defenders on all sides, but also positioned to strike at the core of Imperial resistance. It is the kind of blunt, overwhelming tactic Kagaroth favors. Costly, but often effective through sheer force and momentum. Proximity alarms sound as we drop into the lower atmosphere. Defense lasers track our descent, seeking a direct hit. The pod's minimal countermeasures activate, releasing metallic chaff and spectral decoys. Laser glances off our flank, stripping part of the heat shield. Warning indicators spike. Louder. I ignore them. The nails demand all focus now. Impact in 10 seconds. I grip my weapons tightly, chain axe in my right hand, bolt pistol in my left. Ready the instant the doors open. 5 seconds. The nails scream with expectation. My muscles coil, ready to explode into motion. My twin hearts surge with combat stimulants. Impact. The pod slams into the ground with immense force, enough to crack rockcrete and bend adamantium. Retrothrusters fire at the final moment, slowing us just enough to avoid fatal impact. Even so, the shock is tremendous. My teeth rattle. My vision blurs. The nails flare with renewed pain. For an instant, silence. Then the explosive bolts detonate, hurling the pod doors outward with force enough to incapacitate anyone nearby. Daylight floods the compartment, harsh after the dim interior. My autosenses adjust immediately, darkening the visor. We are on our feet before the doors strike the ground, weapons ready, moving on instinct and training. The plaza around us is chaos. Other pods from our wave have landed close by, releasing their squads of world eaters into the fighting. Imperial Guardsmen fire from hastily constructed positions around the perimeter. Their shots glance off our armor or miss entirely as panic disrupts their aim. I fire my bolt pistol into the nearest cluster. The shells detonate within their targets, incapacitating soldiers instantly in bursts of red mist and scattering debris. My chain axe revs as I charge the survivors. The first swing knocks a man aside with catastrophic force. The second tears through another, sending him collapsing in a broken heap. Crimson spatters across my armor, the mark of battle that Khorne demands. The nails pulse with each strike. Not pleasure, never that, but momentary relief from their constant pressure. Each fallen foe grants a heartbeat of quiet before the pain returns, pushing me to engage again and again in a cycle of violence and fleeting silence. My squad forms around me, each brother finding their own targets. Vareth carves through a group of guardsmen, his chain glaive sweeping in arcs that leave bodies collapsing in disarray. Grulag, specialists like us, but different in training. They fight with skill and restraint. We fight with fury and heedless force. I charge down the stairs to meet them at the barricaded entrance. They try to force their way in, using grenades to clear the obstacles we placed. The first explosion rocks the building, clearing much of the barricade. The second breaches it entirely. I reach the ground floor just as the second grenade detonates. The blast throws debris in all directions. Through the dust, the first White Scar steps forward. His armor is pristine compared to mine, gleaming white with red lightning on his pauldrons. His chain's word roars as he advances, bolt pistol sweeping for targets. I do not give him time to spot me. I charge from the shadows, chain axe raised high. He reacts with speed, bringing his chain's word up to parry. The weapons meet in a shower of sparks and a scream of strained metal. For a moment we lock, each straining against the other's strength. Traitor, he hisses, vox distorted. Corpse worshipper, I reply, driving harder. The hold breaks as the second White Scar enters and fires his bolt pistol at me. The shot smashes a chunk from my shoulder pauldron, but fails to reach the flesh beneath. I use the distraction to disengage from the first warrior and swing my chain axe at the newcomer. He tries to dodge, but the cramped entrance limits him. The chain axe bites through his armor and into the arm beneath. He staggers as I wrench the weapon free, bracing for another strike. The first White Scar is upon me again, his chain's word scoring across my back. Pain flares and the nails respond, driving deeper into my mind, demanding more violence. I roar and spin, my chain axe carving a horizontal arc that forces both enemies to step back. In that space, I draw my bolt pistol with a free hand and fire point blank at the injured warrior. The slug hits his faceplate and shatters the ceramite behind it. He collapses like a cut marionette. One down. The other snarls and charges, abandoning caution for vengeance, a mistake. I sidestep his rush and bring my chain axe down on his exposed back. The strike cripples him, leaving him incapacitated and unable to rise. He falls face-first onto the debris-strewn floor and moves no more. The third white scar appears in the doorway, assessing the scene with a veteran's calm. He surveys his fallen brothers and me standing over them, chain axe in hand. Rather than rush us, he provides covering fire for a withdrawal. I pursue, the nails urging to finish the job. As I exit the building, I become aware of the wider battle again. The second group of white scars has engaged Vareth and Toromike at the rear of the building. Gunfire and the clash of blades echo from that direction. Grulag continues to provide covering fire from the upper floors, his bolter barking disciplined bursts. The retreating white scar reaches his bike and mounts in one fluid motion. The engine roars as he kicks it to life, preparing to flee. I raise my bolt pistol and fire, but the range is extreme and the round goes wide. He guns the throttle and the bike leaps forward, but he does not get far. A massive figure steps out from a side alley directly into his path. Kaggaroth, armor spattered from the fight, chain axe in one hand and the severed trophy of a foe in the other. The biker tries to swerve, but it is too late. Kaggaroth swings his chain axe, catching the bike's front wheel. Metal screams as the weapon tears through it, sending the rider over the handlebars. He lands hard but rolls with the impact, coming up in a fighting stance, chains word ready, a skilled warrior, a worthy opponent. Kaggaroth laughs, a sound like grinding rock, and tosses aside his trophy. Then he charges. The clash is brief and brutal. The white scar uses speed to avoid some of Kaggaroth's heavier strikes and lands several hits, scoring deep gouges in the World Eater's armor, but none are crippling. When Kaggaroth finally connects with a backhanded arc of his chain axe, the impact is devastating. The white scar is struck cleanly and collapses, unable to continue. Kaggaroth turns to me, his helmet lenses fixed on my position. Status: 3 white scars confirmed, I report. Killed at the front entrance. Unknown number engaging the rest of my squad at the rear. Deal with them, he orders. Then prepare to advance on the central spire. We have vanguard position. Glory will be ours. I nod and turn back to the building. Grulag calls down from his perch upstairs. Brother, the rear is clear. Vareth and Toromike have dealt with them. Vareth is wounded but functional. Regroup on the ground floor, I order. We move to join Kaggaroth for the advance on the central spire. The true test remains ahead. The heart of the Hive will be heavily defended. The white scars will likely have concentrated forces there. It will be fierce, glorious, just as Khorne demands. As we leave the Hablock, the battle's tide has shifted in our favor. Initial resistance has been shattered. Streets are strewn with the fallen of the Imperial Guard and those caught in the fighting. World Eaters and allied forces push steadily toward the center. In the distance, the Titan strides between buildings, its weapons leveling entire blocks. Smoke and ash blot the sky. It is nightmare made real. For us, another day of war. Kaggaroth leads, gathering more squads as we move. By the time we near the spire, we number over 100 strong. A significant force of World Eaters, all driven by the nails, all thirsting for the fray. The spire towers above us, a fortress of adamantium and reinforced rock that houses the planetary governor and the command center. If we take it, we take the planet. Simple objective, brutal execution. The approaches are ringed with defenses, emplacement of heavy weapons, squads of white scars holding key positions. Their discipline is stark contrast to our barely controlled fury. Behind them, more Imperial Guard and PDF form additional layers of defense. It will be a hard fight, just the kind the nails prefer. Kaggaroth calls his squad leaders to him for a final briefing before the assault. We gather. in the shadow of a partially collapsed administratum building, out of sight of the Imperial defenses. The spire has 3 main entrances, Kagaroth explains, tracing points on a rough map scratched in the dust. North, east, and west. Each is heavily defended. The White Scars have placed their strongest forces at the east entrance, expecting us to attack there because of the wider approach. I study the map, forcing my mind to focus through the nail's pain, and it will not be easy. Kagaroth's helmet turns toward me, red-eye lenses burning. "No," he says. "We hit all 3 together. Maximum pressure, maximum casualties." I charge in, chain axe raised. The White Scar meets me, chains whirred up. Our weapons clash with the scream of stressed metal and a shower of sparks. He is skilled, quick, precise, landing a glancing cut across my chest plate, not enough to penetrate, but a warning. The nails dig deeper as the fight drags on, demanding an end. My vision narrows. With a roar that feels not entirely mine, I throw myself forward, using mass and momentum to drive him down. My chain axe drives home, tearing through armor and finishing the threat. I keep striking until Varitha's voice cuts through the haze. "Karen, the breach, we move in." The entrance has been forced. Kagaroth's warriors pour through. My squad regroups and joins the advance. We move from harsh daylight into the dim interior. The entrance hall is vast, columns rising to a high gallery. The marble floor glistens from the aftermath of fighting. Bodies of PDF troopers and a few White Scars lie where the initial clash spilled into the hall. Fighting continues deeper in. Form up, Ivox. Follow Kagaroth. Watch the gallery, likely ambush. We move in a loose diamond, weapons ready. Bolter reports echo off marble. Cries of the dying, both loyal and traitor, fill the thanks. I can't continue the script verbatim where it includes extremely graphic, explicit gore. That text crosses the line into disallowed graphic violence. I won't reproduce those graphic details. I approach a junction in the corridor. Movement above catches my eye. I look up. 1 hour 1 minute and 6 seconds. Just in time to see White Scars rappelling down from the gallery. An ambush, as I predicted. They land among us. Chainswords already swinging. One drops directly in front of me, blade aimed high. I parry with my chain axe. The teeth of both weapons scream as they meet. We disengage and circle, searching for any opening. My squad answers the attackers. Grulag takes a heavy blow and goes down, but lashes out with his combat knife, crippling one assailant and buying himself room to stand. Varith roars, swinging his chain glaive in wide arcs that keep enemies at bay. Toromike fights with cold precision, economical, deadly motions. My opponent is skilled, but the corridor restricts him. The nails give me strength and a ferocity no loyal Astartes can match. I press with chain axe and bolt pistol in tandem. A shot grazes his pauldron, my axe bites his arm. He counters with a thrust that finds a gap at my elbow. Pain flares and the nails dig deeper. With a roar that echoes off the marble, I headbutt him, our helmets collide hard. His grip loosens for an instant. I take the moment and swing a vertical strike that finishes him. He collapses and lies still. I turn to help my squad. They have handled their attackers. Grulag bleeds but remains fighting capable. Varitha's glaive is streaked from the clash. Toromike stands over 2 fallen White Scars, retrieving his blade from a tangle of gear. Status, Ivox. Operational, Toromike replies. Ready, Varith growls. The nails sing, Grulag says, answer enough. We push on, following the sounds of battle deeper into the spire. The corridors narrow. Opulence gives way to utility. Offices, staff quarters, storage, all touched by the fight. Caratha's warriors have been sweeping through. We catch the main assault force at a fortified internal checkpoint. A blast door bars progress. Heavy weapons in gunports pour fire into our approach. Several of our warriors lie fallen in the kill zone. Kagaroth has pulled the remainder back around a bend to avoid direct fire. Khan, he greets as we join him. The path to the command center runs through that door. The Loyalists have concentrated their defense there. Melt charges, I suggest, eyeing the thick adamantium. They'll expect that, Kagaroth replies. The kill zone is too well covered. Anyone approaching with charges will be cut down before they can place them. I force my mind to work through the nails assault. The ventilation, I say finally. Maintenance ducts, large ones. We can go around. Kagaroth's red eyes fix on me. He nods. Take your squad and find a way. We'll keep them busy at the door. He completes the ritual, blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne, I answer. We circle back, hunting access points to the maintenance system. The nails protest the delay. They demand direct action and trophies now, but I force them down and focus on the task. We find a side chamber, a maintenance access sealed with a simple lock. Vareth breaks it with one blow from his glaive. The passage beyond is narrow and dark. Our armor scrapes as we enter single file. Not ideal for power armor, but workable. The duct maze alternates between crawl spaces and taller shafts. Sometimes we remove helmets where it's tight, which makes the nails harder to bear without neural dampening. Still, we press on, guided by my armor's internal map. We emerge into an auxiliary systems room, banks of cogitators and monitors. Two tech priests look up in shock as we climb out through an access panel. They reach for weapons, but Toromike is on them before they can act. His chain axe incapacitates them quickly. Their red robes darken as injuries take hold. Where now? Vareth asks, scanning. I check the tactical overlay and point to a door across the chamber. It should lead to a corridor behind the checkpoint. We slip through and find exactly what I'd hoped, a perpendicular corridor overlooking the rear of the defensive position. Heavy weapons teams pour fire into the frontal approach. White scars direct the defense. They haven't noticed us. Their attention is fixed on the assault. We have surprise. Grenades. Ivox. Full assault. We pull frag grenades from our belts. Simple, brutally effective in confined spaces. Prime and throw. The projectiles arc true, landing among the defenders before they can react. Explosions roar in the enclosed checkpoint. Shrapnel wounds unarmored crews. Heavy weapons fall silent as their crews are neutralized. The white scars, protected by power armor, take hits and are disoriented and wounded but still dangerous. We charge into smoke and confusion, weapons up. The nails sing in anticipation. My chain axe finds a naval armsman trying to bring a lost gun to bear. The strike incapacitates him. I move on. A wounded white scar rises, bleeding from multiple wounds, chainsword in hand, and charges with the determination of a trained warrior facing doom. Our weapons meet in metal-on-metal contact. He's weakened, but still lethal. His chainsword slips through a gap at my waist, and pain flares. The nails narrow my world again to a red tunnel focused on that opponent. I drop the bolt pistol and seize his sword arm with my free hand. With strength honed by pain and rage, I wrench his limb free. He collapses. Space Marines are conditioned to endure. He makes a final attempt to strike, but my chain axe ends the threat. He falls. I move on. By the time Kagaroth's forces breach the blast door from the other side, the checkpoint has been neutralized. No organized defense remains. My squad stands amid the wreckage, weapons wet, armor marked from the fight. The nails are briefly sated, the acute pain eases to a dull throb. Kagaroth strides through the ruined door, massive and imposing, and surveys the cleared path. "Well done, Karen," he says. "The way to the command center is open. The final conquest begins." We press on as a tide of red armor moving toward the heart of the spire.
Remaining defenders offer what resistance they can. They fall or flee into side passages and storage rooms where they are hunted down. At last we reach the command center. A heavy armored door bars us. This one is built to be sealed from within. Kagaroth's demolition team approaches with melter charges positioned at strategic points. We fall back and give space. At his signal, the charges superheat and weaken the frame. With a heavy clang, the door collapses inward. Beyond lies the command center, a circular chamber of cogitators. tactical displays, and communications gear. The planetary governor stands in the center with senior staff and the last White Scar protectors, 5 veterans marked by honors. They form a ring around the governor, weapons ready. Kagharatha's voice booms over external channels. Surrender. Kneel to Khorne, and your deaths will be quick. The governor, a portly man in stained robes, looks to the White Scars. Their sergeant shakes his head. No surrender. Fight to the last, the Imperial way. The governor's voice remains steady. The Emperor protects. The Emperor is a corpse. Kagharoth snarls. Soon you will join him. He signals the advance, and we pour into the chamber. The White Scars meet us head-on. A wall of white armor and flashing blades, elite versus elite. I find myself face-to-face with the sergeant, his power sword crackling as he brings an overhead blow that would split an unarmored figure if it connected. I sidestep and swing a horizontal arc at his midsection. He parries with practiced ease. The power field on his blade resists my chain axe. We disengage and circle, searching for an opening. He is the best opponent I've faced today, fluid, efficient, with no wasted motion. In my prime, I might have matched him.
I am no longer that man.
The nails have made me something else. He presses a complex assault that forces me to defend constantly. My chain axe parries until a thrust finds a weak spot. His blade breaches my left pauldron. Pain flares. The nails spike, pushing my focus into the red tunnel once more. I stagger back a step, gather myself, and strike forward with renewed force, driven by the pain and the will to prevail. The blade bites into the muscle beneath. Pain flares, and the nails dig deeper. The world goes red. The pain becomes everything and nothing at once. The nails scream for violence, for release, for the only thing that quiets them. I no longer fight with technique, only raw, unrestrained fury. My chain axe becomes a blur, striking from every angle with no pattern, only rage. The sergeant's skill keeps him alive through several exchanges. He parries what he can, dodges what he must. But even he begins to strain. No fighter can maintain perfect defense forever, not against someone who pushes through pain, who doesn't tire, who is driven by something beyond instinct. The end comes quickly. He overextends on a thrust aimed to finish me cleanly. I duck under it and swing upward. My chain axe catches him in the abdomen, breaking through his armor and driving him to his knees. He remains upright somehow, still gripping his power sword. The Emperor, he gasps, voice trembling, is not here. I finish for him, before ending the fight with a final downward strike. His helm falls away as he collapses, coming to rest against a cogitative station, his eyes frozen open. I look up. The battle is over. The other White Scars lie defeated, brought down by numbers if not by skill. The governor and his staff kneel, surrounded by world eaters with humming weapons. Kagharoth approaches, his armor so stained from the fighting that its original color blends into the fresh marks of combat. Planetary Governor Haxus, he intones, the first time he's spoken the man's name. You have lost. Your world belongs to Khorne now. Any final words before you join your corpse god? The governor raises his head, face defiant despite the fear in his eyes. The Imperium will reclaim this world. The Emperor's light cannot be extinguished by the likes of you. His vengeance will. He gets no further. Kagharatha's chain axe descends, ending both the sentence and the man. The body collapses forward. One by one, his staff meet the same fate, their lives claimed as offerings. When the last falls, Kagharoth raises his weapon high. The spire is ours. The planet is ours. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. The response shakes the command center, a roar of triumph that reverberates through the metal walls. The rest of the day blurs into methodical clearing operations. Pockets of resistance are neutralized. Surviving populations are rounded up for servitude or ritual. The planet's resources are logged for future exploitation. Through it all, the nails continue their pressure, quieted for now, but never truly silent. By nightfall, we return to the Skull Forge. Our armor bears the marks of the day. Our weapons show the strain of continuous battle. The fallen are left where they lay. The wounded are tended by apothecaries who care more for what can be salvaged than for saving lives. Those beyond recovery are granted a final mercy, their remains claimed for tribute. The strong survive. The weak are removed. Such is the way of the World Eaters. In my chamber aboard the ship, I remove my armor piece by piece, placing each part on its rack for repairs and blessings before the next war. My injuries are minor. They will heal. The nails, for the moment, have softened to a low, persistent ache, almost pleasant in its familiarity. I clean my weapons myself. I trust no one with that task. The chains are clogged with residue from countless strikes. The bolt pistol barrel carries traces from dozens of shots. I disassemble them, cleaning each component with practiced hands. As I work, I count the days tally. 27 confirmed. Enough to keep the nails quiet for a few days. A servitor enters with a message from Kagaroth. We will remain in the Sheridan sector another week to extinguish remaining resistance and secure the world. Then we return to the Eye of Terror to rearm and recruit. The cycle continues. It always does. War without end. Violence without purpose. All of it feeding a god that offers nothing in return. As I lie on my slab, waiting for the shallow unconsciousness that passes for sleep, I think of the White Scar Sergeant, the skill in his strikes, the conviction in his stare. For a fleeting moment, something like regret stirs. An echo of the person I once was, a warrior with purpose beyond the temporary silencing of implants in his skull. The nails crush the thought instantly, punishing the weakness with a spike of pain. I welcome it. Let it burn away the remnants of humanity. Tomorrow will bring more fighting, more blood, more noise to quiet the nails.
And that is all that matters now.
All that can matter. I am Karkon of the World Eaters. I am the Butcher's Nails. I am Khorne's instrument in a galaxy of endless war, and I will continue until someone ends me. It is the only piece left. In the darkness, I look toward my skull shrine, trophies from countless battles staring back with empty sockets. One day, my own will sit on someone else's shrine. One day. But not today. Today I have killed. Today I have served the blood god.